You are picking an operating system or just curious about how they stack up, this quick video breaks it all down. I have here a Windows on my screen and I have a virtual Linux system on the Windows operating system. So I'm going to show you some examples from Windows and some examples from Linux. Now let's start. The first point is user interface and experience. Windows offers a polished, consistent look and feel. It's intuitive and familiar to most users. Everything from installing apps to managing files is user friendly. Linux, on the other hand, comes in many flavors called distributions or distros. Some like Ubuntu or Linux Mint are beginner friendly and even more resemble Windows, but others like Arch or Gentoo are more hands on and customizable. We are all used to Windows more than Linux because we see Windows everywhere. So at school, library, everywhere, Windows. So it's hard to get in a Linux system in a public place or in the school. So that's why we are more comfortable in using the interface of Windows. But lately, Linux interface got improved and it's almost on the same level like Windows. I can show you my Kali Linux here. It has an undercover mode, and this undercover mode is going to turn it to a Windows operating system. So as you see, I have here also a Windows operating system. So I changed the Linux to Windows using the undercover mode in Kali Linux. And even without the undercover mode, it's very similar because there is a menu here or start menu here, and we have a taskbar. We have everything as Windows. So if I'm going to choose between one of them based on the user interface, they are, for me, very similar. Maybe because I'm a developer, I don't know, but it's not a huge difference between both. Now let's move to another point, which is the software and compatibility. Windows is the standard for gaming and commercial software. If you need Microsoft Office, Adobe apps, or games, Windows is your best friend. Linux is better for developers and tech enthusiasts. It supports a wide range of open source tools and programming languages out of the box, but some popular apps just don't run natively, though workarounds like Wine or virtualization exist. And to go a little bit in the details, like Adobe programs, they work better on Windows than on any other system. So the animation, the video editing on Windows is much more better than on even Mac. And that's why it's maybe number one choice for a lot of editors. Although Linux has a better performance even with an old hardware. And this is our next topic, the performance and security. Linux usually outperforms Windows on older or lower end hardware. It's lightweight, fast, and resource efficient. Security wise, Linux is less vulnerable to malware and viruses. Its permission based architecture and strong community help keep it secure. Windows has improved a lot, but it's still a more frequent target. And I can show you here on the screen. Let me just first end the undercover mode. Amazing. It's just one click. You change the whole interface from Linux to Windows. Now let's open the task manager. And here you see we have 2.4 gigabyte of RAMs. And if we go and it's working fine, you saw like changing the interface worked fine without a problem in just 1 second. Now let's move to Windows and check the task manager of Windows. And you see I have 16 gigabytes of RAM on Windows, and Windows is using like over 70% of it, which is too much. And I'm not using a lot of apps. It's just 3 apps. So the performance on Linux is much, much better, even with less hardware. So if you want performance, low budget laptop, Linux is your best option. It's way better than Windows. But if you want an operating system that's compatible with all standard software, commercial software in the market, so Windows is your best option. Now let's move to another point, which is control and customization. Linux is all about control. You can tweak almost everything from your desktop environment to system processes. Windows is more restrictive because it's closed. So Linux is open source. This means that it's all there. You can customize everything in the operating system, but Windows is closed. It's not an open source. So it's very limited if you want to customize it. Now let's jump to the last point, which is the use cases. I mentioned it already, but it's worth to repeat it again. If you want an operating system that's compatible with all apps, so you need Windows. If you love freedom and open source, then go to Linux. My conclusion or the bottom line, neither is better for everyone. It depends on your needs and comfort level. Let me know in the comments, are you Team Windows or Team Linux and why? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.